Welcome in, guys. Mr. Moneyman here. So today we're going to be discussing all things cybersecurity stocks, and specifically we're going to be talking about two of my favorite cybersecurity stocks for 2021 and beyond. These are Crowdstrike and CyberArk. Now, if all you know about cybersecurity is what you've learned in your annual training video at work about phishing and hacking, and what you hear on TV about ransomware and hospitals getting locked out of their files, well, actually, that's pretty much everything you need to know. Yeah, no need for this video. Thanks, guys. Just kidding. I'll be showing you what's important and what you need to be looking out for before you go ahead and buy these cybersecurity stocks. But no need to dilly-dally. Let's get going. Alright, so before I get into these actual stocks, I want to preface this by saying that I've been working in cybersecurity for the last 7 years in my actual day job. And I can honestly say that there's some crazy shit happening out there all the time. I swear, hackers never sleep. And to prove this to you, let me show you some quick facts about how the cybersecurity market has been doing and how vital these companies really are. But before I do, I just want to quickly remind you to smash that like button below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with all of my future content. Alright, so remember when I mentioned hospitals getting hacked and losing access to all of their files and having their computers locked out? Well, this is called ransomware. And this is just one type of cyber attack among many different kinds. And actually, cyber attacks have been increasing every single year. In fact, last year, it cost companies around $20 billion in totality just trying to pay these ransomware hackers Bitcoin to get them off their backs, or to rebuild their networks and put safeguards in place afterwards. And if you look at all of the spending that hackers have caused them across all cyber attacks, we're looking at $6 trillion in annual expenditure starting in 2020. Now that's a crap ton of money, almost 29 times Elon Musk's net worth. Wait, only 29 times? Damn, Elon! Anyways, I digress. You get the point. Companies spend a lot of money building themselves back up after they get hacked. So they started to realize that they should probably just protect themselves from the get-go so that they don't have to pay that money anymore. And that's where we bring in our big two. Let's start with Crowdstrike. So Crowdstrike, ticker symbol CRWD, is a cloud-based endpoint security solution that can protect an organization from all of the malicious hackers out there, from protecting against malware, actively monitoring your entire network, and alerting you when it detects suspicious activity. And because it's a cloud-based solution, it can quickly and efficiently be implemented into a company's infrastructure and be ready to protect it across billions of different laptops, desktops, and any other endpoints across various countries and continents that your organization might be working in. Unlike most other antivirus solutions that are made for giant enterprises and usually on-premise, having this on the cloud makes it very fast to install and easily accessible from anywhere, which is where everything is heading in the future. Crowdstrike is just ahead of the game. So that's just the background. We have to look at the stock chart as well. Crowdstrike has had some very steady growth over the past 12 months, only dipping below its 50-day moving average a couple of times back in November. At the time of this recording, it's currently trading at $226.42 per share. Now, we've even had a little cool down recently, which I like to see because it lowered the RSI and got it ready for the next leg up, if you're looking at it from a technical trading perspective. Now, besides a rock-solid chart, we need to take a quick look at its financials to see if this trend can continue. But before I get into its financials, I want to quickly preface this by saying that Crowdstrike has a subscription-based revenue model, which means that it's a software as a service or a SaaS company. Now, SaaS companies usually have higher profit margins, but in order to compare these to other SaaS companies and see if these profit margins are enough, you have to look at the Rule of 40. Now, the Rule of 40 is basically adding up a company's percentage revenue growth and their percentage profit margin, and if the sum is over 40%, then you have passed the Rule of 40 test. So as of late 2020, Crowdstrike had a Rule of 40 score of 92%, only rivaled by Zoom at 96%. So you can say that it smashed the Rule of 40 score. Remember, there's something else you can smash down below too. Anyways, besides just the rule, we can also see a very steady revenue growth from quarter to quarter, operating income continually rising, and profit margins steadily growing quarter to quarter. We can also see Crowdstrike has a lot of cash on their books, which can help them continue to keep growing and weather any storm that comes their way, as well as the fact that they have zero debt. So they're a SaaS company with high margins, they have a solid stock chart, they have very good financials, and they pass the Rule of 40 test. Honestly, this is one of my favorite cybersecurity stocks out there. Now, I've had a position since it was at about $106 per share, and I don't see any reason to let go of this. This is because they've been growing every single quarter, and cyber threats are growing day by day. It's just gonna continue going this way, and more people are going to use CrowdStrike. So if you have the risk tolerance and time horizon to buy this, even though it's at all-time highs right now, knowing that if it falters, you've done your due diligence and you know that this company is going to thrive, then in my opinion, I would buy it. Personally, I would be able to hold this for decades if I needed to. And you know what they say, time in the market is better than timing the market. So if you believe in CrowdStrike like I do, don't time it, just start a small position. So next up is CyberArk. Ticker symbol CYBR. Now, CyberArk is a little different in that they don't provide an overarching antivirus that protects all of your company's endpoints, but rather a modern approach to identity security and a comprehensive suite of account management solutions that are designed to keep privileged account passwords and team devices secure. Now, in layman's terms, what the heck does that mean? Well, a lot of companies have several administrators for different systems, sometimes very important systems with sensitive information on them, and these systems sometimes have one password to give access to all of the admins. Now, these admins store all of these passwords for the different systems in some document and share that amongst themselves. Instead of sharing passwords for these accounts and just keeping them in some Word document or some other file, CyberArk has created a system that securely keeps these passwords encrypted in one place so that if hackers somehow break through the exterior defense of the company, they're blocked off from maintaining those passwords, hoping to limit the damage that these hackers can do since they won't be able to escalate their privileges and steal sensitive information. And it doesn't really matter if these systems are in the cloud or in the data center or in the office, CyberArk basically sends their little soldiers out to protect all of these different areas and keeps important information secure. Moving on to the stock chart, Cyber has had a bumpy ride for the last 12 months, but has still maintained a bullish trend along the way. And I still think it has a lot of growth to go, even though it's currently sitting at all-time highs. Companies in today's day and age have big infrastructures, and with that comes a lot of passwords. Companies like Uber and Twitter and others like it are all trying to solve the problem of keeping privileged account credentials secure. Because when a major breach happens, it can cost them millions of dollars in damages. Now, CyberArk has continued to grow and innovate, and that's why many companies turn to them when they need an identity and access management solution. And their financials also really showcase this. We can see from this chart how their revenue has continued to grow quarter by quarter, up to $250 million per quarter towards the end of 2020. And that doesn't even include the deferred revenue growth that they have from their SaaS business. And if we look at their year-over-year growth, we'll see that they've had an increase in their gross profit every year for the last decade. And the one thing I wanted to point out from their balance sheet is that they have a lot of cash, just like CrowdStrike, so that when they need their money to grow, they have it, and if financial troubles ever come, they have the cash to keep themselves afloat, unlike those pesky airline stocks that people keep wanting to buy. Now I understand, just like CrowdStrike, CyberArk is also at all-time highs. Now, if you look at the amount of threats that keep popping up in the world, specifically in the cyberspace, you're going to realize that a lot more companies are going to need protection over the years, and they're going to start coming to CyberArk and CrowdStrike and other cyber companies like this to get that protection. Now, at my age, I'm comfortable buying these stocks, even though they're at all-time highs, due to the fact that I have a portfolio full of aggressive growth stocks, and I'd be willing to hold on to these for years and years if I need to. Now, if you're older and more risk-averse, be careful. Not only for CrowdStrike or CyberArk, but any other stocks in the stock market right now, because I think there might be a small short-term correction as soon as the Biden tax plans start getting discussed. But I don't think that this correction is going to be as long-lived or as fierce as the COVID-19 correction back in March of 2020. Check the video linked above for some more information about why I think this short-term correction will have and how it'll impact you and what you can do to protect yourself. Now that's all I got for you today. Don't forget to smash that like button below and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all of my future content. Until next time.